Today we're going to review Tempest, a set that has actually still busted cards even by today's standards in Magic the Gathering. I just want to start off with a pretty infamous card within the competitive Magic the Gathering community, Abandon Hope. This is a black one generic for X. Sorcery. Choose and discard X cards. Look at target opponent's hand and choose X of those cards. That player discards those cards. Wow, it's going to be an absolute sad day for whoever has to face the Abandoned Hope. Now, this card actually is crap. I mean, it's not really that good. I guess maybe in the late game, if you have a bunch of cards you want to go to the graveyard, you can wipe out one person's hand. The card is famous because if you have a dominating position in your game, and you have something like Pithing Needle, Meddling Mage, anything that would name a card, you can flex. You can flex on your opponent by playing Pithing Needle and name Abandon Hope. Just sending the message to your opponent that it's all over. You can't win. It's GG. Abandon Hope used to be the first card in alphabetical order. Not sure if it still is. I think it is. Well, it is at least for Tempest. It's the first thing that's popped up when I looked up these Tempest cards. Mr. Wapsis. Ancient Tomb, first print. It is. Ancient Tomb, I mean, danger, basically. Well, this is, they've reprinted this card so many times. I want to see the original. This is the original Ancient Tomb. Land, tap, add 2 colorless mana to your mana pool. Ancient Tomb deals 2 damage to you. I still don't even own one of these cards. I feel like, you know, I should be a competitive commander player. I should have more of these lands. The problem is my deck has a bunch of blue cards in it. I've got a Merfolk deck, so it's a bit awkward. But still, it's better Soul Ring. I guess, in some sense, sort of, maybe. In Commander, you got 40 life, so, you know, you might as well use it. Whereas, in one-on-one Magic, you got 20 life. You better not use it so frivolously, but still busted even in those formats. Legacy staple. Everyone loves their Ancient Tombs. Usually a little bit more than their City of Traders. Mark still likes the OG. The OG. So this absolutely is completely busted. Even still good by today's standards. I think it's like I don't know a commander deck that would not be wanting to play this card. And as a result, holy smokes, this thing is expensive. Wow, even from the list, it's $66. This is the Soul Ring that they did not reprint to Oblivion. Oh well. Commander Griven Ilvek. What is that a card? Griven. This is a real card. This is a real card, and it's from Tempest. All right, we got a black 3 generic, 7/5 legend. So it can be a legendary creature. It's been errated to be a Phyrexian Human Warrior. Wow, this card reads so differently. When Commander Griven Ilvek comes into play, sack a creature. That's still the same. Okay, Griven cannot be blocked except by artifact creatures or black creatures, which they renamed to Fear. You know why it's called Fear? Because artifacts aren't afraid of anything. Artifacts can block this thing. Why would a machine? That is actually interesting. Why would a machine be afraid of anything? You should not be afraid of menace or anything like that. Oh well. Okay, this card, not very exciting, honestly. It's like a very expensive, what's that? Vampire. There's like a vampire, double black, kicker of a black. It's a 2/2 creature. Enters the battlefield, everyone sacks a creature. I guess one thing about this card is that you can replay it over and over again as your commander. Keep making people sack things. Humility. This is a hell of a card. 4 mana. It's a rules nightmare too, given the very specific situations. Okay, white 2 generic enchantment. Each creature loses all abilities and is a 1/1 creature. Everything's garbage. I hate playing against this card. Turns all my creatures into 1/1s. And all future creatures into 1/1s. But it's a good card. Still good even by today's standards. Mark Zilla, Intuition, the original Gifts Ungiven. Blue 2 generic instant, search your library for any 3 cards and reveal them to target opponent. He or she chooses one. Put that card into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. Shuffle your library afterwards. Although, to be honest, nobody really gets like 3. I mean, you can get 3 different cards. Generally speaking, you're getting the same card. In Commander, you have to get one of... okay, one-on-one formats, you're getting all 3 of the same card. In Commander, you're getting one of 3 different cards, probably with very related effects. Rated Lex! Thanks so much for the super chat. Scroll Rack used to be great. Howdy from El Paso. Howdy. Scroll Rack still sees play in Cube. So Cube All-Star, Scroll Rack, 2-mana artifact. In the nature of this video, let's make sure we always see the Tempest copy. 2-mana artifact, pay 1, tap, choose any number of cards in your hand and set those cards aside. Put an equal number of cards from the top of your library into your hand, then put the cards set aside this way on top of your library in any order. It's like a super brainstorm of some sort. I guess you can fetch and then get rid of a whole bunch of bad cards. I actually don't know how to use this card. I just know it keeps showing up in Cube all the time, so I'm just going to assume it works. Alright, next we've got... ooh, Jason King with the capsize. I love my capsizes. I played... this was one of my favorite cards back then because you could always bounce things eternally, infinitely. Blue, 1 generic. The buyback of 3. They need to bring buyback back. We gotta bring back the buyback. Return target permanent to its owner's hand. So if you have 6 mana, you are repeatedly bouncing something back and forth back to their hand. Okay, Alpha Nerd. Oh, by the way, capsize is great. Alpha Nerd. Lotus Petal, probably the most used broken card. More used than, what's it called? Ancient Tomb? Hold on, Lotus Petal. So this is them attempting to make Black Lotus fair, which they failed miserably. It was an absolute failure. 0 mana artifact, tap, sack it, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool, play this ability as a mana source. This is the original treasure token. And now we just have treasure tokens. You can have as many Lotus Petals as you want. They could have just renamed it to like Lettuce Petal tokens, but they didn't. They didn't. They made it. They called it treasures. We know how powerful treasures are, so we know how powerful Lotus Petal is. Very, very good card. And still not fair. It's still not fair. Stranger Candy, let's get some love for Tranquility. Man, this is, this card, I don't know how to put it. This is like the card that the noobs play in their very first like mono green deck. They're like, I can destroy all the enchantments. That's busted. I don't know if it's actually that good. I mean, it's a fine card. There's nothing wrong with it. We have a green 2 generic sorcery. You can blow up all the enchantments. Peace will come, but whether born of harmony or entropy, I cannot say, says Oracle on Vec. Erlen still has one of these things. You know, that's right. All the enchantments, all of them. So what did we hit? We hit an heuristic study. We're going to hit your humility. We can hit your... I'm blanking on, like, staple enchantments that are in this game. A lot more artifacts than enchantments. Turns out, then we need to buff up enchantments. Like, the auras suck. Not enough enchantments out there. Okay, Robert super chat. Aladimri's Vineyard. Aladimri's been around for a long time. Alright, get this. We got a green enchantment. At the beginning of each player's main phase, add green to that player's mana pool. This is like the original Utopia Sprawl. This is actually insane. So, this is almost group hug-like. I don't know if this is technically... like, it's... okay, I'll give you this. It's a powerful card. But it's also... like, it helps them more than it helps you. For a green, someone's going to get double green first for nothing. They get it absolutely for free. So everyone gets double green before you get the double green. But for a single green mana. But here's the deal. Can they use the green mana? I know I can't. Remember mana burn? This could actually hurt your opponent. Wow! Ooh, that's a good point, Tripfontaine. Back in the day. So the mana burner. You give this to a control player and like, oh my god, I'm dead. How do I use this green mana on my turn? I can't. I can only play millstone so many times before I have no more millstones to mill. All right, we got, let's look at, ooh, Jet, the medallions from Toads. Jet medallion. They aged quite well, haven't they? Commander players love the medallions. And they're like 30 bucks. Look at this. This is insane. This costs some money. You gotta pull out your wallet. You gotta go deep to get your Jet medallions. Almost looks like a Mox. Except it's not a Mox, it's a medallion. It's good stuff. I have a Sapphire medallion. I don't really make good use of it. Again, I have too many blue cards in my deck. This helps counter all the stupid tax effects that your opponents are playing. Was Grindstone also in this set? Oh, it is actually. This actually still sees a lot of play too. For 1 generic, you have an artifact, pay 3, tap, put the top 2 cards of target player's library into that player's graveyard. If both cards share at least 1 color, repeat the process. And you combo this with Painter Servant. So you just go Painter Servant, name green, and then you start grindstoning away, and they mill their entire deck into their graveyard. GG! Still a great card. Okay, we got YOLO. Did we look at Living Death? Sorry, I missed you. Yo, Little Ted, thank you very much for your super chat. Want to see they reprinted the crap out of this card for some reason. What does this do? Oh, is this the original Living End? So we have a black 3 generic sorcery. Set aside all creature cards in all graveyards, then put each creature that is in play into its owner's graveyard. Then put each creature card set aside in this way into play under its owner's control. Actually, a very good card. We all know that Living End is a very powerful effect. It's not too unusual to like just get to 5 mana and actually just hard cast the damn thing. Hell, actual Living End wished it could be hard cast for 5 mana. Okay, Erlin says, interesting screw you card, Scorched Earth. Does it still screw people? Scorched Earth, we got a red X. Sorcery. Choose and discard X lands. Destroy X target lands. Choosing, so you... Wow! So if you do not mind your cards going into the dumpster, you could actually blow up everybody's land. I'm surprised that this... I've never heard of this card, and I'm surprised this card doesn't see more play. Choose and discard X... Oh, sorry, it has to be land cards. So it's not any cards, so you have to discard X lands. But you're still discarding the lands from your hand. What if some of them had Dredge or something? What if you have Life from the Loam? You don't care. Interesting, neat land. Fire cleanses as well as destroys. That is the nature of change. I like it. I like that card. Okay, next super chat. We got King Ginger with the chill. Chill, people. I'm a huge fan of chill. Back then, there was always a red deck around. Red Sly, Red Burn. Red was like a huge archetype way back in the day. Just throw a bunch of red cards together and boom, you've got yourself a top tier Magic the Gathering deck. And this was the answer to it. This wiped them all out. Took the winds out of their sails. For 2 mana, you have an enchantment that they can't deal with. Alright, mono red decks couldn't do crap about enchantments. Oh, sorry, no, they actually could. They had Pyroblast and Hydroblast. They had some cards. Pyroblast and Red Elemental Blast. Okay, red spells cost an additional 2 mana to play, but those Elemental Blasts cost 2 more mana. And they had to have them in their sideboard. Chill when people are still being sly. That's right. Back in the Sly days. All right, what do we got next? We got is Time Warp from this one, Markzilla? Wow, I'm finding the origin story to all these cards today. Yeah, you're right. The original Time Warp came from Tempest. All right, blue 3 generic. Target player takes an extra turn after this one. How you guys feel about this card? You like your Time Warps? Most people look at Time Warp and they're just like,
God, please, no!
Not again, not another extra turn. There's nothing more broken than taking an extra turn. We have so many mini cards that gives you extra combat steps, extra cards, extra upkeeps and stuff. Time Warp gives you all of that stuff. You get everything of a turn all over again. And blue doesn't even need it. Blue doesn't deserve it. Probably the most broken. It's probably the most broken effect in the entire game. Only for the low cost of 5 mana. Markzilla did it. Loves it. Okay, next super chat, we've got King Ginger with the chill. Sorry, no, so not chill. Coffin Queen. We did your last one. Coffin Queen, a black 2 generic 1/1 zombie wizard. You may choose not to untap Coffin Queen during your untap phase. You can pay a black 2 generic, tap, put target creature card from any graveyard into play under your control. Remove that creature from the game if Coffin Queen becomes untapped or if you lose control of Coffin Queen. Ooh. So, I want to say this is like an old Man of the Sea, but for dead cards. I like it. Good card. You can take anything, but it has to come from a graveyard. Ever in a cool art deck? Oh yeah, that's the theme, huh? Theme deck of just cool arts all around here. Wait, drawing an extra card, extra untap in combat in one card is broke. Yeah, it is. You get 2 more main phases as well. 2. Oh, is this where Boyle came from? So stupid. No, okay, hold on. Where's... Yeah, Tempest. Oh, they don't make cards like this anymore. I'll tell you that much. We have a blue 3 generic, instant speed, destroy all islands. The blue players hate this card. I hate this card. You know what? I don't care as much about this card now because I'm forced to play with so many non-basic islands or non-basic lands. We got, yeah, the fishers will throw out their nets and draw them back filled with dust. The nets shouldn't even come back. Should just get boiled away. We did Lowest Petal already. Apocalypse? There's an actual card called Apocalypse. Apocalypse. They made a set around this card. Okay, we got triple red, 2 generic, sorcery. Remove all permanents from the game. Discard your hand. Whoa! Okay, it's a powerful effect. This is for the... This is for that cheese stands alone type of deck. You put under Oblivion Ring, you lose everything. This is just a combo card for Baron Glory. That's what I was thinking of. Baron Glory combo. Outside of that, it's probably crap. But look at all the Baron Glory players. They've pushed the price of this card to $6. They are believers. Believers in the Baron Glory. Yo, red can exile enchantments? Yeah! Red can exile enchantments at the low cost of removing everything else that they have from the game as well. Okay, so let's move on with the next super chat of Alpha Nerd with Recycle. Weird but fun card. Artwork is great. Very strange artwork. It's like a cartoon. We got a green 4 generic enchantment. Skip your draw phase. Why? Okay, whenever you play a card, you draw a card. Oh, okay, that's good. And during your discard phase, choose and discard all but 2 cards. That's weird, but I'm guessing you just try to play as many cards as possible, as quickly as possible, and it's not even going to be a downside. So this is like infinite glimpse of nature, in some sense. I think this is a great card. We did Skull Rack. Oh, this is where the Sliver started. This is the Sliver origin story. We got Muscle Sliver. Is this the first set of... I think this is the first set of the Slivers. So the green 1 generic 1/1, all Slivers get +1/+1. So it's effectively like a 2/2. I don't know why they changed the Slivers so that they're not symmetrical they're not symmetrical anymore. Like, or I don't know if symmetrical is the right word. Like, they used to pump it pumped everything up. So it pumped up your Slivers, it pumped up their Slivers. I wonder what the Sliver metagame was back then. Sliver deck versus Sliver deck? That must be weird. Because there might be some cards you don't want to play because you know it will buff up your opponent's cards and it'll screw you over. Oh, the mirrors are possible. It's just hell. Just absolute hell. Slivers and Shadow Creatures started in Tempest, so... just weird, one-sided... someone does nothing type of metagame. Because Shadow is a weird ability. It's like you're unblockable, but also you can't even block your opponent's stuff, so it's fair game. House Tyrell, talking about Blood Pets. Is this the first era of the Blood Pets? Oh, it is. Oh, I'm not even familiar with this art. black 1/1, sack Blood Pet, add a black to your mana pool, play its ability as a sorcery. I have no idea how you use this card. It's a cute card, though. Okay, Platonic Liquid. Speaking of Grindstone, we got Altar of Dementia was there, too. Altar of Dementia. Okay, the 2-mana artifact, sack a creature, target player puts the number of cards equal to that creature's power on top from the top of their library into their graveyard. And if you can keep recycling cards from the your graveyard back into play, you can set. If you have infinite sacks, effectively you can mill somebody out. It's the only way you can mill out somebody these days. You got to do it infinite times. Great card. Also helped get a few cards banned in Modern. Pacers, Fan Forever, Earthcraft. I think this card is unjustly banned in Legacy. It's so dumb. It's a green 1 generic enchantment. Tap an untapped creature you control. Untap target basic land. I have heard no... Okay, this card apparently is broken, but I have heard no good argument that this is broken in Legacy. Mind you, in Legacy, you can die on turn 1, and you can reliably die on turn 2 if your opponent doesn't interact with you. This card cannot kill you by turn 2 in Legacy. And on top of that, like, let's say you have to put it on a... Oh, you have to put it on a basic... Untap enchanted creature you control. Untap target basic land. I've heard, like, the weakest argument is you go, like, Squirrel Nest turn 2 on a basic land. And then turn 3 you play Earthcraft, so you make infinite squirrels. But then you don't even have haste. So then you need to, like, so you win by turn 4. So yeah, Earthcraft is a weird card to be banned, in my opinion. Emerald, random question. Wasn't Altar of Dementia used in one of the combo decks during Combo Winter? Which one? You mean Eldrazi Winter? It was not Eldrazi. Not Eldrazi Winter. You mean the Summer... I think you mean the Urza Saga Summer? Maybe. I can't remember how close Tempest was to Saga, but it's possible. Okay, moving on. We got Pacers Fan Forever likes Alurin. Pretty popular combo deck. We got a green 2 generic enchantment. Any player may play a creature card with total casting cost 3 or less whenever he or she could play an instant and without paying its casting cost. I can't... Wasn't I supposed to... Something Harpy combos with this. Cavern Harpy is a combo card in this deck. You use a black-blue 2/1 flyer. Comes into play, return a blue or black creature you control to its owner's hand. So you can return itself if necessary. And you do it for free, so you can have infinite ETBs. But you can also pay 1 life, return Cavern Harpy to its owner's hand. I can't remember, and I think you bounce other cards back to your hand. I can't remember the hollow... There's several combos with Alurin. I can't name any of them off the top of my head because I just don't see the deck often enough. But very, 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 very powerful card. Free is a good price. That's a price you can't disagree with. Is Miri's Guile from here? Oh, so it is. Oh, maybe I'm just thinking of the wrong card. Okay, we have a green enchantment. During your upkeep, you may look at the top 3 cards of your library and put them back in any order. Good enough. It's basically Ponder without the card draw. You know what? It's like Sensei's Divining... It's like the old version of Sensei's Divining Top. That's what I'm going to call this card. Okay, Steve Cooper with Reflecting Pool. This was like, I think, the old-fashioned... Oh, they've reprinted this card a million times. Is this card like a staple in Commander or something? They've reprinted it so many times. Tap, add to your mana pool 1 mana of any type that a land you control can produce. Oh no, it's only you. Could have swore there's another version of this card that adds mana of your opponents. I guess this is some sort of like City of Brass type card or whatever. The Orchard? Is it like the Orchard? Anyway, Reflecting Pool, good card. It's like, I don't even know if it's a good card. At 1 mana of any color of any land you control could produce. But you can't fetch this out. You can't fetch it out. You might as well just have a land that produces a bunch of extra mana. I guess it's fine for the 5-color decks. If you're 5-color, you have to be playing this card. Oh, you guys are actually talking Forbidden Orchards. This set is powerful. If Forbidden Orchard, sorry, I put Forbidden Orchid. There we go, Forbidden Orchard. Oh, you're supposed to combo with this? Well, it doesn't matter. Okay, hold on. This is not from Tempest, that's for sure. Darth is like, let's go, I finally made it in for a stream. Welcome, Darth Belty. You look a lot like Darth Maul. It does nothing alone. Yeah, exactly. Like, this reflecting pool, it's pretty useless by itself. You have to combo it with, I guess, Forbidden Orchard, City of Brass. I don't know. Bunch of, Ancient Ziggurat. That's what I was thinking of. Okay, Wasteland. They tried to fix Strip Mine around here. Where's the original Tempest? They tried to fix Strip Mine. Tap to add 1 colorless mana to your mana pool, but you can sack it to destroy target non-basic land. Oh, it was Exotic Orchard? That's what people are trying to go for? Well, okay, I'll get to Exotic Orchard. Just talk a little bit about Wasteland. So we had Strip Mine, right? Strip Mine too busted. Can't have that around. But then they made Wasteland. Now this was a fixed Strip Mine. It's actually not a badly designed card because you cannot hit the basic lands. So in any Wasteland format, you do have a very strong incentive to not just jam a bunch of non-basics freely, like we have in Modern, basically. Or at least maybe it's not totally free. Red decks don't care, because if you get Blood Moon, who cares? You still have red mana. But there is a cost to going with too many non-basic utility lands, and Wasteland kept that stuff in check. Wasteland makes you fetch out your basics. Great card. Okay, so it was Exotic Orchard. Whoa, there's a million Exotic Orchards. What sets do these come from? Hold on, this is still not even from Tempest. Add to your mana pool 1 mana of any color that a landed opponent. Oh, that's the one I was thinking about. That's right. I like this card. Because if you have 3 opponents, then you're very likely... If you have 3 opponents, you're very likely to get some mana out of this. Alright, thanks everyone. I forgot. Yeah, I asked. Like, I thought there was one that added... It's like the reflecting pool of your opponents. I think this is more... I think this is better. Reanimate from King Ginger. Reanimate for a black. This seriously come from... It did come from Tempest. This card's busted. It's 1 mana. Put target creature card from any graveyard into play under your control. Lose life equal to that creature's total casting cost. We call the decks Reanimator because of this card that literally says Reanimate. I don't know if this was the first, like, Reanimator-ish card. I don't think so. I think we had other cards come into existence prior to Reanimate. But this was, like, the best one. It's literally 1 mana. You just dump something and play it by any means. Discard, hand disruption, milling, and then reanimate onto the battlefield, and your opponent's dead. Animate Dead was first. Imagine Animate Dead was first. Animate Dead is a little bit better, but it was more vulnerable. Reanimate, you get to keep the damn thing. Lose life, who cares? Doesn't matter. And as Emerald said, it's sponsor time. We'll look at more cards from the classic Tempest. We gotta thank our sponsor, FusionGamingOnline.com. What can you pre-order right now? Wilds of Eldraine is out already, so if there's any hot singles or sealed product you need from Wilds of Eldraine, maybe you want to buy them from FusionGamingOnline.com. And don't forget, Lost Caverns of Ixalan is around the corner. I'm looking forward for some juicy merfolk. If you're looking for some new alternate art cards, they're coming out with Cavern of Souls, Lord of Atlantis. I don't know the other ones because they're not relevant to me. And you can get them all at fusiongamingonline.com. Don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu at checkout, because not only does it support the channel, it gets you 5% off all your purchases. We're also gonna thank our lovely Mana Traders, the premier place for renting Magic cards online, and warps the metagame to the most best decks possible, because when you're renting the decks, you can just get the best damn thing. You don't have to worry about the cards or your deck getting banned, because you didn't own the cards in the first place anyway. You rented them, and then when the cards get banned, you send them back and you rent the next best busted deck. And you can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_N9M. And now back to busted Tempest cards. You guys are really showing me this set is just beyond broken. Okay, what do we got? What do we got next for super chats? Oh, we got Steve Cooper. Steve Cooper loves donating to chat. All right, so chat, what are you gonna get? Hitmonkey says, Nikachu, are you saying that Fusion Gaming Online has hot singles in our area? Absolutely. Very hot in my area as well. We did Lotus Petal already. We'll go with Jess's Echo Chamber. Never heard of it. They didn't reprint it for a reason. All right, 4 mana. What is this? This person is just in some sort of existential crisis at the moment. Okay, artifact. Pay 4, tap, target opponent chooses target creature he or she controls. Put a token creature into play and treat it as a copy of that creature. The token creature is unaffected by summoning sickness this turn. At end of turn, remove the token creature from the gameplay. Plays its ability as a sorcery. Neat card. Only 50 cents too. So, oh, okay, so, put a token creature into play and treat it as a copy. So I guess you get, okay, if I understand, you're gonna get the copy. That token gains haste until end of turn. Okay, I get it. The downside is, if your opponent has a lot of creatures, they can choose the most garbage card that they have in play. And then you get, like, garbage. So, actually, I think this card would be very, very, very situational. I don't know, maybe it's fine. Makes everything a ball like, not necessarily. Also, he's not naked. No, he's got some shrubbery over here. All right, they made use out of the nature. Nature's clothing. It's a bunch of moss. Do you know what? I think it works well after board wipes and your opponent plays some really big creature. Then you slam the Echo Chamber and then copy their like biggest best thing, especially if there is an ETB. I don't think it's too bad. I like the idea. Yo, Little Tail will perish. Green Hoser. That they don't make hosers like they used to. We got a green. So we got a black 2 generic sorcery. Destroy all the green creatures, all of them. They all get wiped out. The green players see this card and they know it's all over. There will come a time when the voices of soil and seedling will sing only laments. Not modern legal. That's too bad. Could use something like this. Emerald saying, also going back to my earlier comment about the altar, Tempest was indeed in the same standard. Okay, and the main combo was Turbo Genius, which didn't use altar like I thought. Oh, it was mill. Oh yeah, I think, but it wasn't mill in such a way like you stroke a genius someone's like deck into their hand, and then they just lost at their upkeep, something to that effect. Oh no, you could just make them draw their entire deck, and then they just lose. Toilet Duck, shocker. This is a card. Fun thing to do, make your own Shocker damage you so you can discard / draw using Shocker's ability. Okay, we got a red 1 generic 1/1. If Shocker damages any player, that player discards his or her hand, then draws a new hand of as many cards as he or she had before. So you just have to put like a pinging equipment or aura on this thing, and then pa-choo yourself, and you're in riches. You're gonna draw an extra 7 new cards every single time you can shock yourself. That's shock therapy that works. All right, next super chat. Alpha Nerd with the overrun. Used to be a winner. Yeah, used to be. This is still like one of those starter Magic the Gathering starter pack type cards. You know, it's in all the starter decks. This is how the green players win these days. Play a green, 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 2 generic sorcery. All creatures you control get +3/+3 and gain trample until end of turn. These days, they just put this effect on a creature. So they'll put on like a 2/2 or a 1/1 for 1 mana. And then you pay like 6 mana or 5 or 7 mana and you get the huge buff and kill people. But today, Overrun is garbage. Did not stand it. The effect, I guess, stood the test of time. The card itself did not. Discount Hoof. Oh, it's very Discount Hoof. This was the Crater Hoof before Crater Hoof was around. Like the art better than the new arts. Yeah, you got a little tiger over here. You got the whole forest. Like, so this is a weird group. You got this, like this tiger should be a predator to this deer. The snake, everyone should be afraid of the snake. And I don't know what the Pegasus is doing over here. The art is actually a little bit weird, in my opinion. Some 1/2/4 with the Field of Souls. A whole field of them. Okay, white, 2 generic enchantment. Whenever a non-token creature is put into a graveyard from play, put an essence token into play. Treat the token as a 1/1 white creature with flying. This seems very underwhelming. I guess it's fine during a board wipe. So hold on, it counts your opponent's stuff as well? Yeah, so as other people's stuff dies, you get stuff. So you wipe the board and then you you make a bunch of tokens. Not too bad. Also, if you have a sack deck, you sack stuff and you still get something on the battlefield as value. Okay, next super chat, we got the Rage Kitty. God, just spent another 70 euros on sleeves and boxes. Have a coffee on me. Should I get rid of commander decks from time to time? You can dismantle what, I mean, you know what? I live in a world of if I don't play with this deck anymore and I don't care about it anymore, I'm selling the cards and getting cards for stuff that I really want. I live in a world where if I like to keep what I'm using. That's what I do. All right, Rage Kitty. Thanks for the coffee, and we'll donate your super chat to Brett, Rootwater Hunter. The Hunter. He be hunting things. What the hell is this? Okay, blue 2 generic 1/1. It's a merfolk. Looks like a bat. Tap Rootwater Hunter deals 1 damage to target creature or player. Absolutely awful. Here we got our tapping thing. I guess this is the best we could do for direct damage. It's actually what is it? It's that wizard. It's the equivalent to that wizard. Prodigal Sorcerer. That's what I was thinking of. Is it Prodigal Sorcerer? Tim? Okay, let's look at Jackal Pup. The original. I really like the old image of Jackal Pup. I just think that it's cute. I like the. It's hard to find cute imagery within Magic the Gathering, at least for the standard sets. It doesn't. These days, if you want cute imagery, you need a secret lair. Back then, it was really hard to come by. You have a 1 mana 2/1. For each 1 damage dealt to Jackal Pup, it deals 1 damage to you. This card by today is awful. But it was amazing back then because they did not have a whole lot of 2-power 1 mana creatures. Very, very, very few. Yeah, the good old Jackal Pup. Alright, next super chat. Platonic Liquid. Who could forget the legacy staple Apes of Wrath? What is going on here? Okay, hold on. Green, 2 generic, 5/4. It's pretty big. If Apes of Wrath attacks, it does not untap during your next untap phase. If Apes of Wrath attacks. So it puts a stun counter on itself, effectively. Monkeys 3, monkeys through. This card's terrible. Too clunky. Too clunky. What a clunker. Oh, we didn't do Cursed Scroll yet. Man, now this is a card that did not age well. This was like the burn card back. I wonder if they reprinted this into they can't reprint it. It's a reserve list card. But let's say it was modern legal. I wonder if it would see play in burn decks. It's 1 mana artifact. You pay 3 tap. Name a card. Target opponent chooses a card at random from your hand. If they choose the name card, Cursed Scroll deals 2 damage to target creature or player. But the point is, like, you basically activate it when you only have 1 card in hand and they're guaranteed to take the 2 damage. Yeah, it doesn't even see any play in Legacy anymore. I have no idea if it would see play in Modern or not. But this was a card. This was like it was hard to even trade for this card. No one wanted to trade their cursed scrolls away. And now it's like a $15 reserve list card. But it was so good back. You have to trust me. This card was like hotly desired. It could go into a lot of different decks. Could even go into some control decks, for crying out loud. Okay, Toads has Furnace of Wrath. Ever feel this wrath, Nikachu? Probably not. Okay, red, one generic. Double old damage assigned to... Oh my goodness! Okay, for Commander, this must be amazing. Double old damage assigned to any creature or player. And it's an enchantment! So it's permanent! So it's stuck there. Oh, they got the Weatherlight. Weatherlight is stuck. Okay, next super chat. Let's take a look at Kyle Driver. Been a while since I caught alive. I am doing great, Kyle Driver. And for that super chat, we're going to donate it to the crowd. Let's give it to Whale of Darkness, the Trade Wind Rider. Still a staple cube card. It's a blue 3 generic 1/4 flyer. You tap 2 creatures you control, return target permanent to its owner's hand. So, I mean, you can just... If you have a commanding board presence, you basically keep... like, if you're ahead, you're just going to stay ahead so long as you have a Trade Wind Rider out. So this is not a bad card. You do have to have a deck, though, with enough creatures in it, though. That's the important part. That's the hard part. We did Intuition already. Havard says, I run Furnace of Wrath in a Brash Taunt combo commander deck. You can put it in any mono red. I think you can put it in any mono red commander deck. Do you deal damage? Do you like doubling that damage? Well, Furnace of Wrath is probably the card for you. Especially in Commander, where you need to deal basically double the damage to kill your opponent from 40 to 0. This is Goblin Bombardment territory? Goblin Bombardment. Great card. Still sees play today. Red 1 generic enchantment. Sack a creature. Goblin Bombardment deals 1 damage to target creature or player. You don't even need to sack goblins. You can sack anything. You can sack... This was like a pretty common card to see in a zombie deck. Because what cards come back from the graveyard repeatedly? It's the zombies. The zombies love coming back. It's a modern card now. Does see some modern play. Like fringe modern play. But it's going to find its home. It's going to find its home one day. Yeah, so the Goblin Bombardment, they throw more than just goblins around there. You can throw anything. You can throw angels. The Untrained Ear. Funnily enough, I just gone back to the beginnings of Morrow's Drive to Work podcast. Very first episode, it's on Tempest. Interesting. So once you're done watching this, go check out Morrow's thing on Tempest. Morrow's been working at Wizards of the Coast for eternity. Okay, let's go to the next super chat. Propaganda. Propaganda. This card saves me so much life. Yeah, sad Karn. Not that Karn really attacks these days. Karn is in Planeswalker, more of a Planeswalker today than anything else. Okay, for a blue 2 generic enchantment, each turn, each creature cannot attack you unless its controller pays an additional 2 for that creature. Does this happen to anybody else? Someone attacks you and they're like, are you going to pay the 2 for propaganda? And then they're like, they just quietly untap their creature and say nothing and then decide to attack somebody else? Because that happens to me all the time. People forget that I play propaganda. This card saves you so much life. I mean, I might as well say, like, enchantment, enter the battlefield, creatures don't attack you, and also gain like 50 life, effectively. Okay, well, let's look at John with Soltari Gorillas. It's a gold card. Didn't have many gold cards back then. We're red, white, 2 generic, 3/2 with Shadow. If Soltari Gorillas assigns combat damage to any opponent, you may redirect that damage to target creature. Okay, interesting. So it's unblockable. Sorry, it's not completely unblockable. If you're up against another Shadow deck, maybe you'll block it. Man, the Shadow Mirror must really have absolutely sucked back then. I don't even know what to think about that. Yeah, but it turns into like Searing Blaze. No, it's not Searing Blade. You can redirect. You can attack. If you deal damage to an opponent, you can redirect the damage to a creature. What does it say, actually, these days? How do they word that in Oracle text? 0 mana. The next time Sultari Gorillas would deal combat damage to an opponent this turn, it deals that much damage to target creature instead. When do you activate this? Oh, like, I don't get it. Because the damage, you can't do anything at the or can you? No, damage doesn't go on a stack. See, back then, damage used to go on the stack, and this made some sense. I think by today, it doesn't make nearly as much. I guess you have to pay 0 before the damage happens, and then you get an option to move it somewhere else. I don't know. Weird. Anyway, 4 mana, I think it's a garbage card. It's an interesting card, though. I have 2 shadow creatures that specialize in destroying other shadows. What kind of metagame do you play in? All right, next we got Pacers fan forever with the Corpse Dance. And they be dancing. Okay, we got black 2 generic instant with buyback of 2. You got a deal over there. Put the top creature card from your graveyard. Oh God, into play. That creature is unaffected by summoning sickness this turn. Remove the creature from the game at end of turn. I think this used to see legacy play. Maybe it still does in some capacity. Because I remember, like, I think there was a time in Legacy where the order of your graveyard mattered. But I don't know if it matters so much, and I think it had to do with Corpse Dance. I don't know why anyone would want to play with Corpse Dance these days. Crazy card. Let's take a look at Brett's Mog Fanatic. After that, I got to get through all the super chats. Mog Fanatic! It was actually quite broken at the well, I don't know. Broken is a strong word, but it was a very good card back then. It was a red 1/1. Sack it. Mog Fanatic deals 1 damage to target creature or player. Back then, there was something called damage on the stack. Where, you know how things go on the stack? Well, when you attack someone, they take damage. It would go on the stack. It wouldn't even resolve. You wouldn't take the damage yet after combat. So you have to wait for it to resolve. So let's say I attack with a Mog Fanatic, and you block it with a 2 toughness creature. The damage would go on the stack, and then Mog Fanatic's still alive. Then I could sacrifice the Mog Fanatic to deal an extra 1 damage to the creature that blocked. That 2 toughness creature, and then so it would take 1 damage from combat after it resolves, and then it would take 1 damage from the Mog Fanatic. The good old damage on stack. These days, it's actually an okay card. M. Hayashi loves this card in his mono red decks. Doesn't always play it, but when he does, still plays it. Alright, Zykurin! Can you do me a solid? I know it's off topic. Nikachu, can you remind me what was the green Gifts Ungiven again? You said it a few videos ago. I need it for a commander. What is the green Gifts Ungiven, people? I have no idea what he's talking about. I know that we've compared other cards before. The green Gifts Ungiven. If we can't figure it out in chat today, just someone let us know in the comments section below. Zykurin, just keep a lookout for the chat. Threats? Was it threats undetected? There we go. Threats undetected. Green 2 generic, search your library for 4 creature cards with different powers and reveal them. An opponent chooses 2 of those cards. Shuffle your library. Shuffle the chosen cards. Huh? Shuffle the chosen cards into your library and put the rest into your hand. Search your library. Oh yeah, you shuffle the other ones so they don't go to the graveyard. There you go. Hope you like that, Zykurin. Steven! What do we got? What do you got for us, Steven? Anyone mentioned Static Orb? I love Static Orb. I love this card with opposition. This is a sweet card. I'd love this if this was modern playable. Pay 3. Players cannot untap more than 2 permanents during their untap phases. So it's like a Winter Orbish effect. But the point is, if you tap your Static Orb, because it's the Erratidit. It was, what is this? One of those mono artifacts, global. I don't know the difference between all these stupid artifacts. As long as Static Orb is untapped, players can't untap more than 2 perms during their untap steps. So the deal is, you tap the Static Orb at the end of your opponent's turn. You get to untap all your stuff. You get the full untap. Your opponents only get to untap 2 things. So this card's great. Everyone loves Threats Undetected. Black Lance Geo, King Ginger. Great card. Also great is Static Orb. Alpha Nerd! Ledger Domain. Ledger Domain is a blue 2 generic sorcery. Permanently exchange control of target artifact or creature for control of target permanent of the same type. Ah! This is a sweet card. So, you could throw away, you could exchange your garbage, you could exchange a Lotus Petal or a treasure token for some sweet artifact of your opponent's, or exchange some crappy creature of yours for your opponent's better creature. This is amazing. I guess in some ways, okay, so you can do the switcher. The only thing that makes it better than control magic is that you have the option to switcheroo like an artifact, so I sort of like it. You can also donate them something bad. Like, I'll give you something that's terrible, that's damaging me in exchange for something that, you know, in exchange for your good stuff. Take the commander. That's right. You swipe their commander. Yoink! First to see it, now you don't. Okay, Zykurin. With another super chat. Donate for all the $2 chats I did. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you very much. All right, so this is worth... Okay, we're going to donate this to Christopher B. Legacy's Allure. This is like an awkward card. It's like, it's okay in Cube. It's a pretty popular Cube card. Blue enchantment. During your upkeep, you can put a treasure counter on Legacy Allure. Sacrifice Legacy's Allure. Permanent gain control of target creature with power no greater than the number of treasure counters on Legacy's Allure. So over time, this can get big. You can steal some stuff, some early play stuff. I tried playing this like in Commander. It felt pretty weak and underwhelming. I was playing it for like Devotion, but in the end, it's like didn't really work out. I didn't really steal anything meaningful, in my opinion. Oh well. Fun fact, the stack was introduced in 6th edition, a full 2 years after Tempest. Oh, really? But before that, spells were resolved with the batching system, which were the types Interrupt and Mana Source were. Well, that is just bizarre. I'm actually not familiar with the batching system. Alright, next super chat. Let's look at... Oh, we're almost through the super chats. We'll get back to the freebies. Grindstone! We did that one. The medallions. Alright, well, let's do a medallion that wasn't done yet. And we're going to look at the Sapphire medallion. That's the Sapphire medallion I play with. Actually, I don't play with this one. I used to own this one, then I sold it. And then my friends wanted to play Commander, so I had to go buy this one. Because it was cheaper. I prefer to have this one. Your blue spells cost 1 less to play. Yeah, the medallion cycle, a good cycle, still good today. And blue spells, we all love our time walks to be 4 mana instead of 5 mana. Great stuff. Okay, let's go. Let's give Kelduin a card. Light of Day. Classic white versus black hosers. Yeah, white 3 generic enchantment. Black creatures cannot attack or block. That's right. Same thing could be said of the people who live in their basement. They get out of their basement, they see the sunlight, they also cannot attack or block. Back in the day, I used to sleep during the day and basically wake up in the evening. The moonlight, that's all we need. We only need the moon. Gamers only need the moonlight. Okay, Alpha Nerd. Hannah's Custody. White 2 generic enchantment. Artifacts cannot be the targets of spells or abilities. Unique card. I never heard of this thing. Very, very unique. I don't know how good this is. Artifacts cannot be the target. So it gives a hexproof. They have Shroud. Maybe a downside of this is if you need to target your own stuff. That's not good. I don't know. So I don't know how you would use this. But, very unique effect, if anything. Bitcoin analysis. This Tempest still in my time before. What? King Ginger says, I prefer the medallion. Apparently there's an image of a comic book from a printing error. Oh, neat. There's some old medallions that have Charlie Brown art. Oh, yeah. Okay, in the background that goes for serious money. Okay, so I guess that is the comic book accident. I've never seen any of those. Okay, Mad Cat with Steel Enchantment. So they came out with, they got Steel Artifact, and now it's time for Steel Enchantment. Except this one's not on the reserve list. It's a blue, gain control of enchanted enchantment. That is such a... We're enchanting the enchantments now. Must go deeper. This is Inception for enchantments. This is, do you know, you could steal someone's Rhystic Study with this. What else can you steal? I mean, the problem is there's not many busted enchantments, but when there is one, like, they're good. And then there's almost no enchantment removal, so you're like seriously just gonna swipe their stuff. Sounds like AI. Yeah, I know. It sounds like an AI card. Looks like an AI card. Need more cards like this where we swipe people's enchantments. Yoink! Okay, we got Friesen with Ghost Town. 100% for landfall decks. Ghost Town. Tap, add 1 colorless to your mana pool, but you can also pay 0. Return Ghost Town to its owner's hand. Uses ability only during another player's turn. Wow, it's the original Oboro. So Oboro also used, and actually it's better than Oboro in some cases because this costs 0 mana. So you just make sure you bounce it at your opponent's turn. Or is it better than Oboro? Yeah, it's better than Oboro. In some sense. Because it's literally 0 mana. You just yoink it back to your hand. Erland, Master Thief. Enchantment Edition. Well, just going back to this, I wonder, does anyone even know this card exists? So Oboro is like, Oboro has always been like, just to get onto the on here, it just got reprinted, but like it was like $80 because its sole purpose was to bounce it back and give you landfall triggers. And this is just a popular card. Everyone knows what Oboro is. I don't know if anyone knew what Ghost Town, if this card existed, because it's in the similar vein, and like you don't need to have blue in your deck to play it. I don't know if, like, I never heard about this card until now. So if you need landfall, if you're one of those landfall geeks, you're looking for budget Oboro, Ghost Town. Ghost Town is busted. Busted is a strong word, but you know what I mean. It's a good card. What did we look? I was in the middle of looking at. Now I got so worked up about Ghost Town. Oh, Master Thief. Let's go look at Master Thief. The Enchantment Edition. This is not Tempest. Enters the battlefield, gain control of target artifact for as long as you control Master Thief. The swiping cards. Marcos. Apocalypse. Oh, we looked at Apocalypse. Yeah. The red enchantment destruction in some weird way. So we'll take your super chat. We're gonna donate it to did we look at, I don't know, did we look at Choke? I can't remember. Maybe we didn't look at Choke yet. Green 2 generic. Islands do not untap during their controller's unfat phases. I hate it. I absolutely hate this card. I'm an island deck, after all. And you know what? The weird thing is blue has some oppressive cards like Boil, and it's on the reserve list. So this card gets reprinted eternally, but blue's hosers, no, we can't have the blue hosers. That'd be too strong for blue. Oh, no. Okay, Alpha Nerd has Interdict. Neat card. Blue 1 generic. Interrupt. Counter target artifact, creature, enchantment, or a land ability requiring an activation cost. Abilities of that permanent cannot be played again this turn. Draw a card. This card is amazing! This card is actually insane! Counter target activated ability. Oh, no, wait a minute. Oh, it's only activated ability, so it's like a stifle with card draw. Counter target. I thought it was literally you can count an artifact, creature, or enchantment, or an ability only from a land. It's actually counter target activated ability from an artifact, creature, enchantment, or a land. It was just worded very badly at first. It's still not bad, but I thought before I could hard counter artifacts, creatures, and enchantments. I bet if you played it like that in a commander game, they wouldn't know. But then that'd be cheating. Don't be cheating. All right, that's it for Coffee and MTG today. We went down memory lane of Tempest. Tempest is absolutely busted. A busted set that stood the test of time even today. Even the bad cards are good. And if you want to join us at Coffee and MTG, you can be here Monday to Friday, 11 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks to everyone who supports the channel. You're either a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube to get those wonderful, cool-looking badges in the lives, and also the people who super chat to be part of the show. We also got to give a special thanks to everyone who shows up in the morning to be part of the show. Feel like Some124C, Toads, Abzo, Christopher B. We've got Almond, King Ginger, Erland, Nighthawk Alive, Emerald, Markzilla, Pacers fan forever. Because as usual, this show is all because of you. It's a community-built show. So as usual, keep brewing up them coffees, and we will keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.